Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Deez. This is my workshop. Today's video is going to be a bit of a show and tell video. I received a mysterious package. I think a friend sent some tooling. We're going to open that and see what's in there. And in addition to that, we're going to do some rearranging to this workspace area because I got something to share with you. Went to the antique store today. Just thought, hey, maybe there's some machinist tools or tooling. As you can see back here, I've got some surprises to share with you. So with that said, let's get you where you can see what's going on here, and I'll give you a close-up view of the things that we picked up today. I picked up a toolbox, and this particular toolbox was pretty affordable. It was not 60, 20 bucks. It is missing the lid, but I'm not sure what brand this is. I'm pretty sure this is not a Gerstner & Sons toolbox. It is a Machinist style toolbox, however, but I think it's missing. I think there is a front panel that rides in this channel down here, and then the lid. There's a channel in the back. I think those two pieces. It might be a one piece that's kind of an L shape, and it comes down. You lock the top, and that seals everything up. However, I thought maybe I'll make a nice project, and I can make a cover for that. But I went ahead and picked it up for the price. You know, this stuff's probably handmade, and it's a pretty cool piece of history. If we take the drawers out, they are all numbered. This one's 2, if you can see that, and then one is over here. There's 1, and so if we take these out, see if you can see that a little bit better. And there's 2. Here's 3. Or that's actually 4. But they do have to go in a certain way because the tab on one side is longer than the other. So there's 4, and here is number 3. So that's the little drawers. The big drawers, the thing is filthy. Somebody had cats or hair. It's gross. I really need to clean this out. But this is number 5. And this should be 6. And you can faintly pick out a number 6 right there. And if we look inside, I could not find any markings. Maybe one of you out there knows what brand of toolbox this is. I'd really like to know more about this one. I think it's missing, you know, something in here. But overall, it's, you know, I think it's salvageable. I think we can clean this up and make it usable. I've got you kind of focused in here as close as I can. I'm switching over to a different camera, but it's just kind of painted black in here. I do not see any markings of any sort. It's dirty, that's for sure. It's just painted black. There is these metal channels on the bottom. I'm not sure if those are original. I would have guessed they're not. Although the way they're riveted in, could be. There's no markings on the side. There's no marking in the back that I can see. There's a hole down there. Not sure what that would have been for. This is just a flaw in the wood, I think. Dirty. I don't think you can see it, but underneath, there's nothing there. Let's move this thing around. I'll see if I can show you the rest of it. So here's the top, filthy dirty. This has a tray that will come out. I'll probably take this out, get some green felt, and replace this. Let's see if we can't show you a little bit closer here. I mean, there you go. Again, there's no markings there. nothing really in there, but maybe one of you will see something I don't see. Here's the other side. Again, I don't see any markings on this. If we lay it down on the bottom, again, I don't really see, I guess that's a hole in the bottom. Somebody must have screwed it to a workbench so somebody wouldn't run off with it. There's, okay, so here's some sort of latch mechanism. That's probably how the top fastened on. Interesting. So this would swivel somehow. Interesting little mechanism. There we go. So if this was bent over, that would come out, and then the bottom. Oh, I bet this is part of the latching mechanism. I bet, oh, this whole base probably slides out. Anyway, again, no markings here. If we flip it up on its side, we look at the back. Again, there are no markings. There, I don't know, does that look like a 491? Kind of weird. I mean, if you're looking at it, it doesn't look like anything, but it almost looks at an angle, looks like a number. Anyway, there's no markings. It's just this weird coating, whatever this stuff is. Fabric of some sort. Anyway, there's your close-up of that. And hopefully somebody has some insight into what this thing is. We've got one more thing to show you before we get into rearranging the workspace here. See what that is. There we go. I picked up another toolbox, and in the shop it was reasonably priced. It's an older toolbox. It's not in great, not perfect condition, but somebody had a go at trying to restore it. It's okay. It's definitely been used in a machine shop. Could use a little extra cleaning up. Some of you may already recognize it. I don't know. Some of this hardware may be recognizable. Pretty happy to find this. Open that up. It's got your mirror in the inside. First thing I did, I pulled this down, I took this bottom drawer out, and lo and behold, I found the telltale sign of built by Gerstner and Sons, number 435. Quite happy with that. I went ahead and looked at all the drawers, and all of them have matching numbers on them. So here's a 435, and all the rest are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's this one. Here's the 435. So this is a Gersner, as far as I can tell, unless it's some good knockoff. I picked myself up a Gerstner and Sons toolbox. I'm quite happy with this. Quite happy I was able to find one, source one. These things are really hard to come by, at least in our area. You can buy them new, but I don't want to pay that kind of money. It does need some felt replacement. The only thing that doesn't seem to be original is this. I think this was remade out of some aluminum because the number is not on this back plate. Maybe it's original. I don't think so. I think this was replaced. But I think the front is original. Yeah. So I think maybe the original came up farther. But regardless, somebody did an okay job fixing this. But I don't know if this would have been galvanized or something different. Or maybe it's original. I don't know. But I don't think it is. I think this would have a 435 on it. And it does not. But otherwise, it's all there. I'm really happy about this. And I want to use this as my Endmill storage, my primary toolbox for my workbench. So that's why we're going to rearrange everything, even though I just finished making a home for the surface plate. I got some ideas, and we're going to change things around. It's I'm pretty happy about this thing. It's not often that you find a Gerstner & Sons. It's not a good, like I said, there's some parts that I could get to replace. I need another pin locking mechanism. I'll probably check out Gerstner & Sons website and see if I can get some replacement parts, maybe some latches or something, but because I don't think these aren't quite right. It almost feels like they could be original, but there's no markings on the latches or anything. I think they're original, but again, I just want to see if there's any improvements I can make to it. But anyway, I wanted to share this with you. It's a really cool find. I'm really stoked about having this. All of these drawers, there's some plastic inserts, but they got the felt. I hope that the felt is in good condition. It is. It looks like whoever originally owned this bought these, or maybe it comes with these when you buy them. That felt is in great condition. We'll just leave that in there. Again, $4.35. It's all there. Really happy with this pickup. It could use a little bit of cleaning up, but it isn't near as dirty as that last one I just showed you. So what we're going to do is a time lapse of me rearranging all this, and then later I'll transfer my tooling into this. But I do want to clean this thing up a little bit before we start putting anything in it. It's really cool. I wanted to share it with you. If anybody has any information about this, let me know. But before we close this clip here, the dimensions of this thing are 26 by 9.5 inches by 16 inches tall. So 26 wide, 16 inches tall, 9.5 inches deep. Let me know if you know anything. Put it down in the comments. It's a really cool find, and I'm super excited to have this in the workshop. Let's finish cleaning out this red toolbox. I got some bigger items. They're not all going to go into Gerstner in this bottom drawer of this red toolbox. Some of the items are big, like the Lathe 4-jaw chuck and collet chuck, things like that. But let's get this cleaned out, see what we have, see what belongs in the Gerstner, and see what needs to go elsewhere. So we've got our square and hex collet holders. We have our fly cutter. We've got a few R8 collets, the small ones, the really small ones, and I think one of the really big ones. Here's our collet, ER40 R8 spindle collet. Here's our R8 Jacobs chuck, Jacobs style chuck. And we have some brushes, which are always handy. A little hunk of rubber I was just protecting things with. Here's our collet chuck, and here's our 4 jaw. So that is all that's in this red toolbox for now. So we can get that off the workbench. I think I'll just set it over here for now. Get it out of the way. What am I thinking? I think that the lathe stuff needs to go over to the lathe area. These brushes, I don't know that they really belong in here. Let's see what we got on our, what kind of space we have in this bottom drawer. I don't really want to put too many heavy things in here. I can put my chucks in here. I don't know if this one's too big with the nut. If I take the nut off though, this will fit in here just fine. So I'll go ahead and put my collet nuts back here. The R8s can go in here. That's fine. Just set those there. The chuck key can go there. I don't know if this will fit. So that's not going to fit in there. The base is too big. But I've also got these holders here that don't go in there, so they could actually, they probably would fit up top, so I might do a little rearranging up here. I think what I'll do first, put this hunk of rubber back in. Just kind of keeps these things from banging around. That fits. Cleaning supplies, they don't need to be in this drawer over here. Desiccants, I do want to throw these back in here. I think it helps keep things from rusting. Alright, let's rearrange this top because I think these can fit up here. Let's see. Here's this tray. I think pins and maybe pens and pencils and markers and stuff can go here. Actually, I don't mind them where they're at. Well, let's see. I think that's better for books, isn't it? Like little reference materials. I'll figure out something. For now, I'll put the markers in here. So this one's, I don't really need that much height in there. I think I could put them up here. Let's rearrange this. I got an idea. These will go in here, which is fine. So I got some reference material, some measurement tools up in this top drawer. That's good. This one, I don't have anything. So that's where my machinist jacks can go. Thinner drawer, there's another thinner drawer. I'm going to put this back up here. That there. now I have a thicker drawer here for some of this stuff. I think dial indicators will fit just good in here. Another indicator here. Put that in here. Slide that there. 2-inch micrometer. 1-inch Fowler micrometer. That's perfect. That can go there. My dial indicator in the back. Some measurement tools there. I think that's good there. That's good. Reference materials over here. I think that should go with that, but it won't fit. That can go there. Okay, so we have our square collet, our hex collet. Those will go there. Again, this doesn't need to be in here. I'm not going to put that back in there. But I will put my fly cutter up here. That's going to fit. Then these things can go here. That's pretty much everything. I do have my chucks that go to the lathe, so I'll put those over in a drawer over by the lathe somewhere. They don't really need to be in this Gerstner. I'm also going to still have that red toolbox, but I've got a plan to kind of make a shelf for that. So these will go over this area. These brushes can go with my cleaning supplies. They don't need to be in that box. That's my new setup. This is the new Gerstner toolbox. Hopefully you can all see that. It does need a little bit of cleaning up or whatnot, but it's an overall pretty good shape. This is a really cool find. I like having this as my main toolbox for my end mills and tooling and documentation, things like that. Really a cool find. Gives me a little bit more space up front here in front of it. That red one was a little deeper. I may shift things a little bit so that I can put this back in here. It doesn't quite fit in between here at an angle, or at the long ways. I can always just leave it lengthwise like that. It's just a mat, works the same. For now, that's what I'll do. Got a place for I may get rid of this computer sometime, but I thought it might be kind of handy out here doing some looking up reference material, things like that. If I want to work with my surface plate, I can move this out of the way. I still have that same ability where I can pull this out, shift it over, and I'm able to get that out and use it for any sort of metrology. I do want to still get into that. I'm working on this plate, which is not terrible, it's not a very precise thing. I just made it in the mill, but I thought if I can I'm going to make a clamping mechanism to hold a dial indicator. Then I can just put this here and I can move my parts around. This is a poor man's surface gauge. I don't have anything official yet. Some of these, I'm kind of wanting to buy something proper, good quality surface gauge, but for now I thought I'm going to go ahead and make something so that I can at least start practicing and using the surface plate with you know, a dial indicator. When I'm done with the surface plate, clean it up, bring it back. Put it back in its home and it's out of the way. So I got enough room here to work on things, but I've also got everything kind of where it needs to be. Starting to get tied up here, but I've got some plans. I've got some things coming up this summer and ways to actually make a little bit more workshop space. So got some ideas. You'll see that in upcoming videos, but I just wanted to show that. I wanted to share this Gerstner find with you. And with that said, I've got one more thing I want to share with you, and we'll close out this show and tell video. I got this mysterious package in the mail the other day, and I thought there's only probably one person that would surprise me and send me something without me knowing it. And my suspicions were correct. This was a tool that came, an end mill that came from a friend of mine, and when I opened it up, I was super excited. I've got a project coming up where I could use this thing, but let's open this thing. I went ahead and opened it because I wasn't sure what it was, but I was so excited when I saw this thing. So I wanted to share it with you. This is how it came. I didn't open the actual tooling yet. I just wanted to share it with you as well. But check out this little thing. This is a chamfer dovetail end mill. That thing is tiny. I mean, here's my fingernail. That is really cool. Now, the use for this would be to make a really tiny dovetail for a dial indicator. If you've never seen a dial indicator, here's the information that's on this thing. But let me pull out a dial indicator and I'll show you why this is going to be so useful. I've brought you back. Here is a dial indicator. And as you notice, you see these two little things here. These are the mounting systems for these dial indicators. But these little indicators have dovetails on them. See on the back channel here, there's a little dovetail there. And then on the back side, there's dovetail there. See? And why is that important? Well, if you're wanting to mount this in a stand, you know, you got that dovetail, you could slide that down and it mounts. Well, that's how these things work. So here's the opposing dovetail, and they slide in. Get it right. So they slide in, and then you tighten it down. There's a slot here, so you can use a screwdriver. And now, if you have a usually like a mag base that has a mounting system, this is 3/8, I believe. You can slide this in and clamp it down, and now you can hold that piece however you want. This just gives you kind of a universal way to mount these to indicator holders and things like that. So this dovetail cutter is going to allow me to attempt to make some sort of slot like this so that I can mount my indicator to it. So if you saw earlier, I've got this, I don't think I'll get it in the shot, but this was the tool stand I made that I plan on using. I'm going to make some sort of 1/2-inch clamping system that this can mount to or get something, and then hopefully I can, you know, either use this mechanism and mount it in there, or I can make my own dovetail, which I can now because I have a really small dovetail chamfer tool, and I'm going to be able to make these types of dovetails. Super excited to have that. Really cool stuff. Again, thank you for sending this my way. That thing is super cool. Really small, but sometimes you need those really small tools in order to make these really small parts. Pretty cool stuff. Just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching, everybody.